Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. I'm here today with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. So we just want to welcome you to Tech Life Weekly, where we talk about tech in an easy to understand way and keep you updated. Hi, we are looking forward to hearing from Dr. Tachi all the way from Florida, from TJ, Terry Johnson, all the way from New York City, and we are going to get this party started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Fred, what do you got today?
All right, got a couple of stories here, and let's see. Do I want to go to the moon? There's a lot of stuff. Oh, this will work right here. All right, hold on for just a quick second.
Okay.
Hey, Kev, close your door.
That's the beauty of working from home, huh? We can't hear that. Oh, maybe because you got your mic off. Well, I want to say we got some beauties for you today.
All right, here we go. You ready?
We are ready.
January 21st, 2000, the domain name twitter.com was registered. However, it wasn't until 2006 that the domain was purchased by Twitter Inc. and took form as we know it today. So the domain was bought 6 years prior to it being used. January 22nd, 1947, KTLA, the first commercial television station west of the Mississippi River, begins operation in Hollywood, California. Bob Hope emceed the inaugural broadcast. A total of 322 televisions are in the Los Angeles viewing area.
Did you say 322?
322?
Well, see now, this is an example. Do not despise small beginnings.
Yeah, because it's interesting because now TV is like at a saturation point, although I'm wondering if it's starting to go backwards because there's so many young people that don't have televisions.
I don't know. They don't seem to be slowing down. Seems like every time they show a model house, the first thing they show is that big TV. I don't know if because that appeals to guys, like kitchens and bathrooms appeal to women. You walk in the door, there's a 56-inch TV, a 60-inch, huge TVs. And we know that they really aren't the TV generation. So I don't know.
Right. Well, let's look at when that's because look at who's building the houses. It's not them. So for the builders, that is a priority, like the huge kitchens. And some of these people don't cook, but the huge kitchens
but even in a tiny house, the first thing you see when you walk in that living room, the living room can be 4 feet wide and the TV is 6 feet.
Well, exactly. So, but that is the agenda that is set by the builders of these are the things that are important. So I'm wondering what's going to happen as Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and now Gen Beta get ready to buy homes. What is that going to look like?
Well, good morning, Mark. He says, why shouldn't that go backwards too? Everything else seems to be well.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Okay, Fran, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No. This is why we are here.
Morning, Mark.
I guess I'll do something from space. January 22nd, 1968, Apollo 5 lifts off carrying the first unmanned lunar module into space. Okay, in January 22nd, 1984, Apple Computer broadcast their now famous 1984 commercial introducing the Macintosh during the third quarter of the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 28, XV8 2018. Okay, I haven't had to use Roman numerals in a while. That's 18.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It was the first and last time the ad was truly broadcast. That's interesting. I have never seen it past then. However, a little known piece of trivia that the ad was aired one other time at 1 a.m. on December 15, 1983 in Twin Falls, Idaho, but only so that the advertisement could be submitted to an award ceremony for that year. A 30-second version also ran in theaters starting January 17th, but it was broadcast during the Super Bowl that it was the broadcast during the Super Bowl that people took notice of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Wow. All right. First bridge over Mississippi River, January 23rd, 1855. The first bridge over the Mississippi River opens in what is now Minneapolis, Minnesota. A crossing made by the Father Lewis Hennepin Bridge. Okay, that's a name, Father Lewis Hennepin Bridge.
Does it seem like we haven't made much infrastructure inroads since 18 something?
Yeah.
Okay. And you think we need some updates?
We do. We have terrible infrastructure in the US. Terrible.
Well, I don't know. It's held up. That's a good thing.
But see, holding up and being
What are we replacing it with?
Well, that's the thing. Most of if you look at many of the bridges and roads in the a lot of them are very old, and they, of course, I'm not saying rebuild the whole thing, but when you look at that compared to some bridges and infrastructure in other countries, granted, they are just now coming into their age, so they can replace it with something newer. Ours is crumbling. Look at New York City, the capital of the world. Why are your roads like that? Why is the subway like that? Why you understand what I'm saying? So it seems like we haven't made very many inroads, and I think a lot of that has to do with funding and not wanting to pummel a lot of money into infrastructure. Like, well, it still works for now.
Well, I tell you, I'm in Texas right now, and it seems like everything is under construction. They got some money. I think it's that it takes time for that money to funnel down, and it's all political, So a lot of the rework, you understand what I mean, is going to depend on that too, because I can't believe how many roads are under construction. I mean, they're expanding. They got bridges going, extra highways. It's just phenomenal. Wow. I'll take some pictures the next time I'm out and about.
Oh, love to see that.
Okay, so January 23rd, 1996, the first version of the Java programming language was released. The ability of Java to write once and run anywhere made it ideal for internet-based applications. As the popularity of the internet soared, so did the use of Java. I'm not sure. Are we still using Java programming?
I have no idea, since I don't program.
Well, since AI is writing program.
Exactly. And I'm so glad.
and this is very interesting, because what does that do for people who do understand the languages like Java and all those types of things? Where does that put you? Well, now you have to become an AI prompt engineer, I guess.
I would think so.
Right.
And because you understand how to give commands, you probably be more proficient at it, quicker.
True.
And it can help the AI not hallucinate so much.
Yeah. I love it.
January 23rd, 2003, the last successful contact was made with the spacecraft Pioneer 10, one of the most distant man-made objects in the universe. Pioneer 10 is heading in the direction of the star Aldebaran in the constellation Taurus at roughly 2.6 AU per year. Somebody needs to Okay. If Aldebaran had zero relative velocity, it would take Pioneer 10 about 2 million years to reach it.
Mm.
And they want to go to Mars and try to get back. Mm-mm. They got to fix some things. The microwave oven was patented January 24th, 1950. The original microwave oven patent was issued to Percy LeBaron Spencer under the title Method of Treating Foodstuffs. 5 years earlier, Spencer accidentally discovered that microwave energy could heat food when a chocolate bar in his pocket melted while he was experimenting with a microwave tube.
Hmm.
Microwave tubes were originally designed for radar systems.
Why was there a chocolate bar in his pocket while he was
We don't
working?
even want to go there. Low
That was
blood
really-
sugar.
But the fact that it melted it in his pocket is an issue.
Right. It wasn't even inside the thing. Wow. Hmm.
Did he take it from his kid and put, just stick it somewhere? 'Cause he was in a hurry?
I don't know. That was in 1950. Wow. January 24th, 1984, Apple Computer Inc. launches the Macintosh computer with a demonstration of the computer in front of 3,000 people. While the Apple Lisa was the first commercial computer with graphical interface, the Macintosh would bring graphical computing and computing in general to the rest of us, as Apple's early slogan for the Macintosh claimed. While not as commercially successful as Microsoft's DOS and later Windows, there is no doubt that the innovations of the Macintosh pushed the entire computing industry ahead and continues to do so to this day.
Mm.
And my final story, we're going back to space. January 24th, 1986, the interplanetary probe Voyager 2 makes the first flyby of the planet Uranus. During its study of Uranus, it finds 10 previously undiscovered moons. Voyager 2 still is transmitting data to this day. And it says here a Twitter feed, so is that an X feed now? And a Twitter feed reports on its progress. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your week in tech history.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's pray that we still get the feed regardless of who owns the entity. Okay.
Oh wait, they have to change.
They decide whether or not they want to keep it up too.
Right.
So
it's
there's
really
that.
interesting. Okay.
All righty, daddy.
Okay, I was gonna say something conspiracy theory wise, like is it really up there or are we, who knows? Because I'm not going up there to find out.
No, I'm fine on Earth.
So
Okay, Terry, you're up.
okay, peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
And the opposite word is on earth.
He's on Earth. Yes.
Peace on earth. Okay, guys, I always like to talk about tech in different industries, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about tech in farming. And I put together, with the help of AI, a little video to show you what's going on in farming for 2025.
Cool.
So let's see if I can add this to the mix.
The year is 2025.
Can you guys
Technology is not confined to the screens in our pockets. It has taken root in the very ground beneath our feet. Agriculture, the ancient practice of cultivating the land, is experiencing a revolution. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer a futuristic concept, it is the farmer's newest tool. AI promises to make farming more precise, efficient, and environmentally friendly. Imagine a world where algorithms analyze soil conditions, robots tend to crops, and drones survey vast fields. This is the future of agriculture, and it is unfolding before our very eyes. Farming is hard work. It always has been. But AI is here to help. AI can analyze vast amounts of data, This data includes weather patterns, soil composition, and even plant health. With this information, farmers can make informed decisions. They can optimize their yield and minimize their environmental impact. AI is not about replacing farmers, it is about empowering them. For generations, farmers have relied on their intuition and experience. Now, AI provides them with data-driven insights. This synergy of human knowledge and artificial intelligence is what makes the future of agriculture so promising. Meet the Johansons, a multi-generational family running a farm in the heartland of America, Iowa. They, like many others, have embraced the AI revolution in farming. Their farm is a testament to the power of technology working in harmony with tradition. Gone are the days of relying solely on almanacs and gut feelings to predict the weather. The Johansons now use AI-powered weather forecasting systems. These systems provide hyper-local predictions with incredible accuracy. This allows them to make timely decisions about planting, irrigation, and harvesting. Their fields are no longer uniform plots of land. They are divided into microzones. Each microzone is treated according to its specific needs. Sensors in the ground collect real-time data on soil moisture, nutrient levels, and even the presence of pests. This data is then fed into an AI system. This system determines the optimal amount of water and fertilizer needed for each area. The result? Less waste, healthier crops, and a smaller environmental footprint. The AI revolution in farming is not limited to the American Midwest. It is a global phenomenon. In California's Central Valley, where almonds and grapes flourish, farmers are using AI-powered drones. These drones can survey vast fields in a matter of hours. They can identify signs of stress in plants that would be invisible to the human eye. Across the Pacific, in the densely populated nation of Japan, vertical farms are taking root. These high-tech farms use AI to control every aspect of the growing environment. From lighting to temperature to humidity, everything is optimized for maximum yield. In the Netherlands, a country known for its tulips and windmills, AI is being used to reduce the use of pesticides. AI systems can identify and target weeds with incredible precision. This allows farmers to use herbicides only where they are needed, minimizing chemical runoff and protecting the environment. The AI revolution in farming is not without its challenges. Data privacy is a major concern. Farmers need to be assured that the data they collect on their crops and soil will be used responsibly. There is also the issue of job displacement. As AI systems become more sophisticated, will they eventually replace the need for human farmers altogether? These are valid concerns, and they need to be addressed. However, it is important to remember that technology is a tool. It is up to us, as a society, to decide how we use it. The future of agriculture is not about choosing between technology and tradition. It is about finding a balance between the two. We can harness the power of AI to enhance the skills of farmers, not replace them. The AI revolution in farming is an exciting time. It is a time of great promise and great potential. By embracing technology, while also respecting the traditions that have sustained agriculture for millennia, we can create a future where there's enough food for everyone and where the land is treated with the respect it deserves.
Alrighty, dighty. I thought that was interesting because it allowed them actually to pinpoint which plant needs fertilizer, needs pesticides, before they had to spray the whole field.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means there's going to be less toxic runoff. There's going to be less invasion of our food in terms of pesticides just everywhere for anything. It's sort of like having, what do you call that? Antibiotics for everything. And then eventually you become what? Immune to resistant to the antibiotic. So I found that really interesting that we can be that accurate, and how the drone was over the fields in California, Freya, was deciding which plants really needed water, because we have a water issue here, obviously. And now we're able to better make better judgments and to pinpoint things. So I wanted to point that out to you guys. And I do want to, full disclosure, say that AI put together the video, and I want to thank them for that.
The what I noticed about the story was that they were concerned about the farmers and things of that nature. Now they don't. I think there's going to be less accidents and farming things if you have the
Oh,
robots doing the farming, just like in the car industry. The
mm-hmm.
farmers are still going to have to program the robots on what needs to be done. It's not going to be just somebody's got to train the robots. Um, and the people programming the family farm is probably not going to be the guy who started the family farm. It's probably going to be the kids.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
So,
and
and real quick, this also fixes up issue of, I mean, it's not talked about a lot, but a lot of the family farms where the kids don't want to
Exactly.
continue to farm, you don't need a lot of workers. You have robot workers or robot machines or and there's a I always like to bring in movies. There's a good movie that I love. It's called Interstellar, and like the beginning of it is about he was a pilot, but he had a family farm and they didn't have any workers. They just had machines going out and doing all the stuff, and then there was something with a drone and controlling everything. So I always think about that. The human is there. You will need less human. Same thing happened with when we went into the industrial age from, the Henry Ford factory of, everybody was doing things and now you need less of people. And we've seen that from the automobile industry because now they're hybrid. They have auto workers, but they don't have as many as they had before because they have auto workers that have to oversee, double check, quality assurance, whatever you want to call it. There has to be humans in there double checking until there's a point where we don't need a human to be the oversee everything, and they'll be perfected to where we won't have to do that. We're not there yet.
And the humans will provide the ingenuity, the smarts, the things of that, because the machines don't have it until
they
it's
don't have the
programmed in
creativity
there.
button. Yeah, we have the creative
Yeah,
button.
we create.
Yeah.
And then we can duplicate with the help of the machines. So all of the people, people who are saying, well, there's not going to be jobs. Well, we need you to create. We need you to think better. We need you to think more.
There's not going to be jobs for them.
Right.
I'm not trying to be funny, but
no, you're correct.
You won't have a job because you've already decided that you're obsolete.
Exactly.
I, on the other hand, will have a job.
And there's always work to be done. After all, a woman's work is never done. So we can find something for you to do if you're worried about having a job. People.
And I always use the analogy. I think we talked about it this week, Fran, about I'm trying to remember the abacus.
The abacus,
paper and pen and the calculator. Do we do any of those things? But we still calculate math and numbers. We do it differently.
Yeah, math doesn't end because we don't use an abacus.
Yeah.
No, nor does it end because we don't use the calculator. We just say, so and so, what is this and this and this? And get an answer.
There you go. So math keeps rolling. Math and science is behind all of these things.
And neither do people's needs. People still need some place to sleep. They need groceries. They're going to need, you know what I'm saying? There's some basic things. They're going to need to breathe.
Right.
And they probably will need some medical care.
Right.
If they heard stuff.
AI is going to, and like you said, your story was saying about the specification or the personalization of specific crops or specific. AI does that. So we're going from general to specific to personalization. It's a good thing. I always say this is good and bad. We're not saying AI is perfect. We're not saying science is perfect. We're not saying all of that. We're going to get to the point where it will be good, but it's going to take, when it takes 10 steps to make a drug or a vaccine or whatever, it's going to be one step because the AI has figured out the shortness of it.
Look, they have found a desktop MRI process where they can put it on your hand and see what's going on in your body. Remember, y'all were talking about this last
Star
week
Trek.
about the Star Trek
The
situation.
body scan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
the lady doctor that had the thing, and I'm
Yes.
talking about the newer Star Trek where she had the little wand and she just waved it over.
Exactly. And so they are able to see now. They don't have to, you know how if we go through
Right.
those breast exams and all that press,
Yeah.
they will be able, you won't have to do that, and they will be able to actually see the beginnings of polyps, take them out, and they can see where they end and begin. They don't have to take everything.
Right.
You know, because they're not sure.
Right.
Because they're able to focus with these smaller devices.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, be excited, because I always talk about quantum computing. That's going to be a big part of it.
Yep.
So, but there's going to be the downside of the environment and the power sources and the water.
But they can figure that stuff out.
Well, AI is going to help figure that out.
Yeah, they're going to figure that out, and they're going to figure out how to make it happen without burning up so many resources. They'll be able to. Yeah,
exactly. So that's what I have for you today.
Can I real quick? Can I just, because I just had a thought. I saw. I always see articles. There was one over in China that they developed some power source. Oh, I can't remember what it was. That it keeps going. It's a battery that doesn't die or run out or something.
Oh,
And I was trying to find you. Go ahead while I try to find.
But it sounds something like Tony Stark did, where the reactor just kept going. They got stuff. They're just not telling us stuff.
Right.
I forgot what it was, and I saved, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's something that doesn't go. It doesn't die
continual.
or.
They have tires right now that do not disintegrate or just. We get the ones that you got to keep buying all the time. They have tires in existence that do not require changing, but then if they put them out to the public, the industry would.
So
buy tires.
Part of that is, why do we have the tires that don't last? Because you have to.
Well, it'll be bad for the economy. No, it'll be bad for the people who make the tires.
For them. I found this story. It's nuclear battery produces power for 50 years without needing to charge.
Wow.
So this is a Chinese startup. A new battery, it claims it can generate electricity for 50 years without the need for charging or maintenance. So.
Yeah, that will never see the light of day in America. Moving on.
Not if we'll buy it first and then we'll throw it out the door.
It's like the story Fran is saying about the tires. Why is it
or
set
the electric car? They've had the electric car. Remember, somebody bought the patent and put it away.
Why?
Corporate greed. This country will cut off its nose to spite its own face. So things that could really be beneficial to the citizens here, they will not do, because that means somebody won't make money off of it. It's the same thing. Like, I complain about Apple all the time. I love my Apple products. Howsoever, they make the dongles and the cords so that they unravel the moment you touch it. So you have to buy another one, because their products are great. I've never had a problem with an Apple product itself. It's always I have to go and buy a new cord because this one is fraying. That's how they make money. But listen, we are rocking with you. You don't have to play these reindeer games. It's insulting, to say the least. So that's the same thing. Same thing with tires that you know good and well in 2025, in the year of our Lord, that you can make something that does not fray, that does not run flat, any of these things. You could make something that works for the long haul. The same thing if you, I keep going back to this refrigerator that I saw someone on, I think it was either TikTok or Instagram, posted that they bought an old refrigerator from 1960s. Beautiful. Had all these compartments that slid and it still works.
Yeah.
Now you are lucky if you get 10 years out of any appliance you buy. And that's terrible because appliances are high ticket items. I
Yes,
should
they
not
are.
have to replace something 10 years down the line. It's barely just going. And I need a new refrigerator. You know how many thousands that could cost? So they should be ashamed of themselves and they should go back
Well,
to the ways of old.
there's a market you just mentioned, Dr. Tati. I'm gonna go around and find some, elderly people that are still living in their elderly house with their 60s and 70s appliance. Say, hey,
You want to
can I
sell?
buy your refrigerator?
Right, because some of them refrigerators are still kicking. And they did this in the agricultural space as well, in the farming space. They would pay people to turn the potatoes over. Folks is hungry. Instead of you bagging up the potatoes and sending them to people who are hungry, you will turn them over or
Mark.
tell them not to produce milk.
Mark has a comment.
Oh, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Mark says, all four of you together live and on screen. I'm getting emotional. It's like the reunion of Destiny's Child.
I'm telling you, if I laugh, I'm going to start coughing.
Okay. I'll laugh for you.
All right, go.
Welcome in, Mark.
So they got really weird rules or whatever, or they're sitting back in a room. We can't let that out.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
People
So
would-
that's it for me today. I just wanted to stir your minds, especially with what's going on in agriculture. Just think if they could have detected which bird had the flu, our eggs wouldn't be $12 a dozen today because of the bird flu epidemic going on right now.
Can't even think about eggs.
I'm just saying, the ability to pinpoint things through AI is really important, and it can change the economy, change your life, change and prevent things.
Right, and people would not be, well, I was going to say, messing with and touching stuff they shouldn't be touching. We'd be all right. Just leave it
All
alone.
right.
Anybody asked you to do all that?
So who's up next?
I think that's TJ or
Okay.
TJ.
Okay, I'm ready. Let me open up my
There you
notes
go.
and let's talk about social media news and updates this week.
Okay. Which
So I'm
sure
going
will
to
be
say
wonderful.
TikTok for last. For last.
please.
For last. Let's talk about Meta. So Meta, we rarely talk about WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, what they're doing on WhatsApp, Meta is going to let you link your WhatsApp account with Instagram and Facebook.
Surprise, surprise.
Who's
Who said that 3 years ago?
Who's shocked?
Zuckerberg said that, didn't he?
No,
It was TJ. TJ was
I said
talking
more
about
than
You did say it.
One big
before they
wonderful-
even integrated Messenger. And all, I knew way back then that they
It
were
just
going to
made
integrate
sense.
them. Why? Because the cost, usefulness, whatever. So here we are. Meta World, the Death Star. You can leave it if you like. People are leaving, and that's okay. You can leave it. Nobody said you had to stay. If you're upset about the community notes or him cozying up to the Führer. Is that how you say it? The Führer.
The Fuhrer.
okay.
The Führer. I said Führer.
Oh.
The Führer. They're cozying it up because they have to cozy up. So if all of these things upset you, there's other worlds. Other social media platforms. There's fan base.
But before you go on, can I just mention something?
Everybody, she said it. We're like, what?
Yeah. That was interesting. Before you go on, I just want to mention, I just thought about something that you and Fran have favorites. Your favorite is the Death Star. That is your favorite.
Well, I
restaurant.
love it because to me it applies. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. All
Yes. And Fran's is Hotel California. Go
Yes.
on.
Yes. So we laugh because it is we have to laugh these days. I'm going to find jokes and
You
laugh
better
about
find something
everything.
to laugh about.
Find the
That's
I am
joy.
not going to be doom and gloom.
Mhm.
So if if that's the thing you want, this is not the channel for you. We're not doing doom and gloom. All right, so they're coding it up to the what is it, Furor? I keep wanting to say Fury. Furor. The head
To the
guy,
fearless leader.
he who must not be named. The emperor with no clothes, whatever title we want to use, that's what we're going, because I'm not saying that. So all right, so and this emperor is going to be referred to a lot today because his fingers is all in all the pies.
It's hard to I was trying to get through the news cycle. That's oh man.
What is that? Put your thumb in the pie, pull out I don't know. I'm trying to remember these way
Tom
back.
Thumb.
Yes, yes, all of these things. And
You
I'm
like
going to laugh, and
Tom
we're
Pie.
going to laugh, and we're going to make it through.
I don't know.
All right, so the Death Star has things that they have to do, and they have to appease the emperor with no clothes, the he who must not be named, and they're doing things. We are not the group, the users. We're not the group that they care about. They don't care about us. I've already told you. Meta is a corporation. It is not a charity. Yes, they should do things, but they will not, because they do things by a corporation rules. Okay, so they are putting you're going to be able to add your WhatsApp account to your account center. It's a hub where users can manage connected experience across their Facebook, Instagram, and Meta Quest accounts and all things Meta, i.e. the Death Star. It is the biggest thing. Okay. So you're going to be able to cross post WhatsApp status as stories on Instagram and Facebook. You will also be able to log into multiple apps with the same account through the single sign-on feature. And they're saying that this is optional and off by default. Adding your WhatsApp account to this account center, the main reception desk where you walk in, hey, can I help you? What department can I show you to, or whatever? That's this account center. You don't have to join it. You don't have to connect to it. Meta is also saying that your WhatsApp messages and calls will remain end-to-end encrypted if you choose to connect your WhatsApp account to this hub.
Okay.
All right. So this account center was introduced in 2020 as a way to give users the ability to manage their connected experiences across the company services. Woo! Meta is just they're just so helpful. What can we do for you?
Go
Meta
Meta.
giving
Go
you the
Meta.
things you want. This is what we're gonna do. All right, so now in this account center, which is going to be a bigger thing in our lives, they're going to roll out the option to manage avatars, Meta AI stickers, and Imagine Me creation. So it's going to be all the things Meta World is going to be in this account center. So Meta says it's rolling out this WhatsApp integration globally, but it will take months for it to make it available to every user. So they're rolling out slowly. When you see it, you'll see it. So you'll see an option in your WhatsApp settings when, if you're eager to do this. Just wait until they get around to you, and we shall see. Okay. Now, any comment? No? Okay.
WhatsApp is not going to see the light of day on my stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we the WhatsApp is, if you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't.
I use WhatsApp every day, but I'm not, as they like to say here in the South, finna connect all of that stuff together. No, there's no need for it. WhatsApp to me is a messaging app. I'm not about to make it into a social one.
Right. It has its uses because, if you have friends and family internationally, this is the best way to talk with them. So again, we're not putting it down. I'm just saying that this is what they're doing. Be aware. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't, don't. Okay. Now on to Meta and Instagram and their new app called Edits. Now we talked a little bit about this Tuesday. because Meta announced on Sunday, when all of the shenanigans, which we'll get to later, all the shenanigans that happened Sunday, they said, hey, let's put out the news about our new app called Edits, which is their CapCut rival. If you don't know what CapCut is a ByteDance app that's separate from TikTok. And again, in that little world where you can edit your videos, you know, put those captions and popping things and all the little bells and whistles that people like to add to their videos on TikTok. So, and actually, I believe CapCut, you can do any short form reel style video or longer videos. Doesn't have to be short form, but you could do it on the desktop, I believe, and you could do it on the app, and you can save them and send them to different places that accept video. Doesn't have to be just TikTok. Okay? I got that right? The because I don't use CapCut. I don't use any ByteDance apps. Well, I do use TikTok, but it's, you know, separate. But CapCut is like, I'm not using
Yeah, I believe my grandson uses that. He's
They love
like
it.
junior high
Gen
school,
Z,
yeah.
Gen Alpha, they CapCut. Yep, let's have it. I can hear it. Let's have it. Go.
In 2025, in the year of our Lord, I said that I was going to try and be a little kinder and gentler when it came to levying criticisms at these places. Well, the lie detector test has determined that that was a lie. So I'm going to go ahead and say what I'm going to say.
Yes.
I, just like with TikTok, the fact that you leave your creative future in the hands of one app is troubling. Now, okay, maybe I can excuse those people who got caught up in the TikTok fury and it wasn't there for 14 hours and they had no access to anything. There are a lot of you, so maybe I can see that. But the fact that you have no plan B, you're a content creator, and you have no plan B for how you are going to get these deliverables to the brand that you are partnered with because you use CapCut, and now CapCut is unavailable. Shame on you. Why do you only have one tool? Let's think about a lot of things that we do, right? We usually have a backup for these things, right? If you can't get to destination X taking the 95, you will say, oh, well, I could go local, or I could take I don't have to go this way. I have a plan B. But what has happened is a lot of people all said, we're going to take the 95. And then there's construction for 5 miles down the road. They don't know any other way to get there. You're stuck. So that doesn't make any sense. And I also brought this up that I'm guilty of this one too. There's one of my friends, when I go to her house, I met her like 17 years ago, and she told me she lives in a labyrinth. Her neighborhood is an absolute labyrinth. She told me how to get there one time. That's the only way I take ever. Because one other time she said, oh, you could go this way. I was stuck in that labyrinth for half an hour because I had no plan B. So don't be like me. Have a plan B so you don't get caught in the labyrinth, so that you can get out if you need to, and you have another way there. So what I'm going to do actually is post some alternatives to CapCut so that people can start using other things. And my thing is, if you call yourself a content creator, then you ought to use the tools serious content creators use. And that's going to be looking at things like Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, etc. Learn them and learn them well.
Yeah. Is there another one, DaVinci? I'm thinking.
Yes, DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve is free. There's all of those have a high learning thing. There's, InShot.
Screen something. No, what is it? Screen. I'm trying to remember what it is.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Screen something.
Right.
Not screenshot, screen. I can't remember the name. But there are other alternatives. You're right. And I'm glad you're going to do that, because, see, you're going to educate those who need the education.
They're still not going to listen, but
they're not. But at least it's there. for
Yeah.
those who want it and discover it, and then they go, oh, well, if you talked about this, what other content do you have? Let me go investigate. And here's another observation, because I have a Gen Zer, and I've noticed this several times. If she needs something and I bought it, it's in the fridge or the cabinet or the shelf or whatever. Mom, where is the salad dressing? Well, it's in the refrigerator on the door. She goes in there and she's like, I don't see it. Mind you, because it's not front and center, it's behind something. And says, well, take your hand. And I've said this several times. Take your hand and move whatever. It's like the first, and this is in the, the spice cabinet, whatever. Oh, I need the garlic powder. It's on the top shelf. I don't see it. Take your hand. Look. Because I'm like, I know it's there because I bought it and I put it. And if I remember that I bought something, I'm like, oh, I bought some Greek yogurt. Where is it? It got shoved to the back accidentally. But I look because I know it's in there. But if I tell you it's there and if it's not in front, I don't see it. And it drives me bonkers.
Let me tell you a story. My mom said, go to the linen closet and get the red towel. If we went in there and did this, I don't see it. There would be
never. You, in fact, if I can find something that's just an indication I don't need it, because I'm not going to ask, because then there would have been all sorts of wahala, or where to put something back. That's one thing you don't do, because my mother would have been like, put it on my head. So I just didn't ask.
We had to go. She said, go look for it. It is in the cabinet. You go look for it. And you're going to waste your time, because she was not going to go show us where. I said it's in the cabinet. Go get it. Look for it. Open the cabinet. Raise up the other towels.
I still don't see it.
Oh my gosh.
And then I get up and I said, if it was a snake, where would we be now? Because it's right there in front of you. I don't know what it is.
My mom would have not.
Take your hand and move, shift this to the side. Oh, it's right there behind the mustard. It's right behind the.
And this happens in the workplace too.
It does.
Because we're like, if I had to go look for a file, pick up the other files and look for. Okay.
And really quickly, not to belabor the point, but I'm teaching this class now, and I clearly said to submit in the forum your topic ideas in the forum right underneath week 3. If I didn't get emails asking, well, I can't find, so I said, okay, because I can switch myself to student view so that I can see what they see to make sure that it's there. Right exactly where I said, especially in my view. So, my first thing is to be like, oh, well, you're on your own. I told you. So I just wrote a general. I said, listen, it is XYZ. But the thing is, like you said, it happens in the workplace. People have become so used to things being spelled out for them.
Right. Laid out.
There is no incentive for them to look, because they know that somebody will bring it to them, show them where it is, etc. Anyway. So there's no incentive.
Yeah.
Then why do I need to give you a tip while I'm standing at the kiosk ordering my stuff from whoever, and then y'all still want a tip when I did all the work?
You don't
get a tip.
Unless you are physically bringing me something that is required above and beyond. No.
Right. But it's something about this the youngest, that if it's not in front of them, and like you said, you tell them, submit it under week, you give them instructions and they still can't find it. And you're like, what is going on? Because I'm like, clearly I said the refrigerator door. Look and move.
But
do
Mom,
something.
There is no door on the refrigerator.
Do something. Because obviously I'm going to tell you that, so I don't get it up and say, here it is.
I gotta
Well,
just walk over there and got it
Mark's got a
myself.
couple of
Okay, let's get
comments
more
because I
comments.
think we need some humor right now.
Yeah, we need some laugh.
Meta, which also suddenly showed up with accounts for Facebook and Instagram on TikTok during the blackout.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
So they saw the need. Uh-huh.
And Mark says, my backup is I reenact my video messages in my window for anyone that happens to be walking by. And in the winter in Chicago, that's not easy.
To be Mark's neighbor. I would love to be his neighbor.
Fun times. Gotta be fun times. Really.
I thought about Mark when somebody told me it's 2 degrees in Chicago. Wind chill is like below 20. I was like, whoa.
That's cold. All right, so let's get back to this CapCut rival called edits that Meta wants us to use. So of course the CEO comes out and says, he talks about it and he says, today we're announcing a new app called Edits for those of you who are passionate about making videos on your phone. There's a lot going on right now, but no matter what happens, it's our job to provide the best possible tools for creators. So they've got this app. It's not out. And Fran and I was talking about the wording of the CEO that said, go and pre-order it.
Yeah, we're like,
that's for books.
That sounds like buy.
Yeah, that when I hear the word pre-order, that means buy it now and get it. It's going to show up when it's released. So, but we went over and did it and looked at. It's not for sale, but why use that terminology of pre-order? I didn't like that because he's very not succinct, but when he said something, it means something. And I'm like, what is this pre-order business? But we'll put that to the side. So you can go to you can go to the App Store right now on iOS only. It's Android versions coming later, and you pre-download I forgot what we did.
You hit get, but it's just going to put a check there to let you know that we'll let you know when it's ready.
You're on the list.
Yeah, you're on the list.
But he used pre-order, and I was like, that's just so weird.
Right.
That's just weird.
And know how some apps say in-app purchases?
Yeah.
It doesn't say that on there. It doesn't say in-app purchases on here, but
right. So more about the app. It will have a bunch of creative tools, a dedicated tab for inspiration, a tab for keeping track of ideas, and a high quality camera. Plus, it will have the ability to share draft versions of creations with friends or collaborators. He said creators will be able to see insights on how videos made through edits are performing on Instagram after publishing. And then he made a follow-up post saying that the app is more for creators than casual video makers. Again, a clue. When he said something, it means something. More for creators. Instagram is geared towards creators, not business owners, not people that have the business accounts. You categorize yourself to Meta as a business owner. They expect you to pay for the tools that they give to creators, because to them, creators are the people that are creating, making video and content that brings people, what they want, more users. To them, business owners is you're just a wallet to them. Buy some ads, spend some money, buy the Meta Verify, buy the this, buy the that. That's how Meta sees you if you categorize yourself as a business owner by saying this is a business account. That's just how it is. So I see a lot of people who have business accounts complain about what Instagram is doing and how we don't have it. Well, you're not a creator. So if you want to, go and switch yourself to a creator, but there are some tools you're going to lose, like analytics and stuff. So you decide. But this is what Meta does. So this is what, and again, this is what Meta does. When TikTok makes a move, they make a move. When Snapchat made a move, they made a move. When X made a move, Twitter made a move, they made a move. See? This is what they do. So, this edit is coming out to challenge CapCut.
Mm.
And here's another. I was listening to who are the two guys, the marketing guys that have this? I think it's called This Old Marketing. I think that's the podcast. It's Robert Rose, the guy that started. He didn't start, but he worked for content. I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's called This Old Marketing. I was listening to them today. Two guys, they get on YouTube and they start talking about marketing and stuff. It's very boring if you don't like marketing, but I was listening to the latest one today, and they were saying, oh goodness, I forgot what it was. What did they say? Well, actually, they were talking about TikTok and how the moves are political and all the other stuff. But oh, I just forgot my thought. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'll remember it. I know I forgot what they said. They said something that was applicable to this, but I forgot. Yeah, we'll move on. All right, so Instagram is has done something again to upset the people. Instagram has updated their profile grid with vertical aligned thumbnails. Now that is the title of the article, but let me explain it to you. Instagram has changed the format that displays on your profile from 1:1, which is a square, to a ratio of 3:4 or 4:5. It's more longer than square. Okay, so here's the upset. This got everybody upset. The people that want a nice looking profile, like they curate the aesthetics of their profile. Like, no, and I want to tell them nobody goes to your profile. Nobody taps your profile. I can give you data on that. They don't go to your profile, but they want an aesthetically pleasing, and the squares must fit a puzzle, and they spend all this. I'm like, what are you people doing? So those people are mad because all of the time, all these years that they spent having their little squares on their profile fit the 9 square format, and they make a puzzle and it doesn't work anymore because Instagram changed the aspect ratio from square to almost portrait. So when you go to their profile, which people don't, when you go to their profile, all of the little squares that they've artfully designed to fit doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't fit because Instagram has changed the format from 1:1 square to, I believe it's 3:4 ratio, I think. Instead of it being 1080 by 1080, it's now 1080 by 1440 or something. I saw some of the numbers rolling around. So this has got people upset. All right. So this is a change in format with the thumbnail images for your post, switching to more vertical aligned presentation as opposed to the regular square image display. This article has said, rightly so, that Instagram has been experimenting with different sizes for months because they are following TikTok. TikTok is what? Vertical short form video, aspect ratio 9:16, right? So Instagram is like, well, we can't stick to this old fuddy-duddy square 1:1 ratio because we want the cool kids to come over here and like it on Instagram. Especially that TikTok was gone for a day and came back. Go ahead.
Well, two things. It's going to take more than getting rid of your squares for the TikTok brigade to come over to. I mean, if it was that simple, you would have already done it. But number two, I think that part of the reason that people were so stuck on, oh, it has to look aesthetic is because this is what the gurus told us.
Yes.
So the whole discourse was around how to make your grid aesthetically pleasing. And I mean, we all felt for, okay, well, the color should be the same. It should be this. Then they even had those things where you
puzzle
could and picture, the puzzle.
Yeah.
So that's why we all did that. And some people are still stuck on it being aesthetically pleasing, is because that was the way people were taught to use Instagram.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And like I said, it doesn't matter one whit because people don't go to your profile. Look at your analytics for your posts. It will tell you how many profile visits from each of your posts. And it ain't a lot. Okay. So the people that are, oh, it must be aesthetically pleasing. Oh, it's messing up my Instagram grid. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then Instagram, really, Gen Z ain't coming over like that, because it's like you get a Christmas present and you going, look at how I wrapped it. Look at the paper wrapping. Kids don't care about that. What do you do when kids get Christmas presents? Do they look at it and go, oh, look at this silver? Man, they're ripping that paper. They can care less. This is what this is. This is what this is. Instagram is giving you a beautifully wrapped, professionally. Look at the professional bow and the tape and the angles of the paper. Man, they're like, no.
You know, I just noticed that I was like, I knew that was coming, but I didn't connect it to my own feed until I looked now, and I was like, yeah, it is no longer square.
Right. It's what is it, 3x4 or it's not 9.
It's not 16:9, but it's like or 9.
So it's 10. What I'm saying around is designer images for 1080 by 1440 pixels. I've seen that.
Okay,
so,
okay, their own special thing. Okay,
yeah. So, but this has gotten everybody upset. They're upset. They're upset. So now here's an explanation. Okay. We started with the tall grid because most photos and videos that are uploaded to Instagram at this point are vertical, and rectangles do a better job showing off those photos and videos. That said, I know some of you spend a lot of time tweaking your grid, and this blew all of that up. So we're going to improve the ability to customize those thumbnails to make it easier to get back to a place you're happy with. Here. Instagram says here. Yeah. Now, another thing they're also doing, they're moving the highlights into the grid and also going to add the highlights as a separate tab. Is the quote for that. Highlights are a great way to showcase your favorite stories, but they are visually complicated and push your grid down. In order to maintain creator control, we're building a tool so that you can reorder your entire grid and make it whatever you want. So this is what they're working on for all the people that are upset. How I'm going to go back and change years of this. Well, Instagram is building a tool to help you with that. But again, like I said, nobody cares about your profile. Unless they're a stalker. Stalker's like, let me look at you. I'm stalking this girl. Let me go and look at her post from 2 years ago. And let me see what she does and the things she likes. That's stalker behavior. Other people, they go to the feed, they look at the stories, they don't go to your profile. Even if you tell them to go, they're not going. That's just how it is. So this, to me, I'm like, you guys, there's other things to think about how about making content that's going to attract your target audience? How about make that a priority instead of, oh, my feed must be all pink and purple and each angle of the wasting time. All right. So you're going to have your little tool, people, to fix your little Instagram profile feed. And you can see, I really don't care. They make a big stink about nothing. Okay, so one more before we get to the big kahuna of TikTok. OpenAI has launched Operator, an AI agent that performs tasks autonomously. Yeah, autonomously. OpenAI CEO he said earlier this year in a blog post that this year will be big for AI agents, tools that can automate tasks and take actions on your behalf. So this is going to change how people use AI, use the internet, use the computer. And so instead of processing information, agents can, in theory, take actions and actually do things. Now let's get into a little bit about this. Now, this Operator, an general purpose AI agent that can take control of a web browser and independently perform certain actions. You'll have access to Operator if you subscribe to ChatGPT Pro. Pro is a $200 a month subscription. So they have plans to roll this out later to Plus and Teams and Enterprise later. but they're testing it with this group who are, paying the $200. Let's give them something. That $200. All right. So you'll be able to find it through operator.chatgpt.com if you want to go take a look. Right now, if you go, it will ask you to pay. So it's not going to show you anything. Now, what does an operator do? Remember, it's AI agent, so it can do tasks such as booking travel accommodations, making restaurant reservations, shopping online. There'll be categories within operator. The operator interface will be shopping, delivery, dining, travel. And what's going to happen is that this operator agent, that when you create an agent, it will be able to do things such as buttons, navigate menu, and fill out forms on a web page, just like a human would. That means if you get to a part where you want to make a reservation, you don't do it, the agent will do it. Travel accommodations, hotel, car, whatever, the agent will do it. Now, it says that the model is trained to ask for user confirmation before finalizing tasks with external side effects. That means before submitting an order, before sending an email, before performing, the final step of submitting it. And you'll be able to double check the work before it goes through, before it's submitted. So another thing that it does is that when it comes to banking transactions, there'll be some supervision before that. There'll be some steps you'll have to do before that, before putting in, say, credit card information. OpenAI says operator doesn't collect or screenshot any data. Here's the quote. On sensitive websites such as email, operator requires active user supervision, ensuring users can directly catch and address any potential mistakes the model might make before it's being submitted. Now, there's some limitations. There's going to be some rate limits. It's going to, there's only so many tasks it's going to allow you to do in a day or hour or whatever the limits are. There'll be an overall usage limit that resets daily. Operator will also refuse to perform tasks outright for security reasons, like sending emails, deleting calendar events, and all these things that require a human to approve. It's not going to do it. It's going to, do the steps, and it's going to be like, it's really an assistant. Like, you tell your assistant, table at the Four Seasons for 3:00 on Monday or whatever. It does that. But then when it comes to, say, payment or, something that's sensitive, it'll come back to you and say, okay, you need to put your credit card information in. And then maybe you do that part, the sensitive information. Again, this is something new. So I haven't seen it. A lot of people haven't seen it. If you're paying $200 a month, you have access to it. So it says also operator may get stuck if it runs into a complex interface password field or CAPTCHA key, the CAPTCHA, CAPTCHA, where
the CAPTCHA, yeah.
So it may get stuck there. And then if it does, it comes back to us, the human, and say, okay, you need to do this, and you do it. So that's basically what it is. It's an AI agent. A person, you're going to have your own assistant that does all of these things, but it won't do the final step. It'll come back, bounce it back to you and say, okay, you put in the credit card, you put into this, you do the capture, you do that, and then it does it. Okay, makes sense? Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Now, it's available to ChatGPT Pro, not Plus, not yet. So they're trying it out with that group and see how it goes. And then if there's a demand for it later, OpenAI will roll it out to Pro, and then the teams, and then this, and then possibly later on to the free version. There'll be limitations on each step, like each level that people are using OpenAI. So that's what we're moving to, AI agents. I think Google had something like this that we talked about before. It was something voice related where it was like an assistant that did things. I'm trying to remember when that was. It's been like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But Google likes to drop things. Google likes to do things and then drop it. Just okay, we're done. It's like a toy that a kid is playing with, and like we're done. They drop it and move on to the next toy. That's Google, which I hate. But here we are. All right, so let's move on to the last thing. TikTok. TikTok is back online after the emperor with no clothes pledged to restore it. So I think this was, I don't pay attention. I'm not paying attention. I think it was Sunday that it shut down. And then 12 hours it was down. And then it came back up. And it popped up with a notification that said, thanks for your patience and support. As a result of the guy's efforts, TikTok is back in the US. Yay. So then people have reported on seeing different pop-ups. Like one that said his name and one didn't say his name. And there was a whole bunch of different things. So they also had terminology. I think this is what I was remembering with this old marketing guys, the two guys that talk about marketing, that they're saying it's a law banning TikTok has been enabled in the US. It means you can't use TikTok for now. That was one of the pop-ups. But it is not a law. They didn't say remove it completely. All they said was it has to be sold. It has to be sold to a I don't even think it said it had to be I gotta go back and read it, but it has to be sold or divested from China. That was it. But see, TikTok went a whole step further and got rid of it completely. And I think I said in the beginning, if the ban went down, that it would just not be available. Like you went to the app store, it's not there for download. But if you had it on your phone, you would still have access. But TikTok went the whole, they wiped it everywhere. Like the web version wiped. It was just gone completely. And everybody was like, after it was over, everybody was like, that's a bridge too far, because one, it's not a law to stop it. It was just, it needs to be divested. But TikTok went a whole country further, a whole river further. Why? Think about why they put a pop-up with this guy's name on it. Thanks to the emperor with no clothes, we're back in business. Yay. Why did they have to name him? Why? It's because this is all a setup to make him look like the good guy. Because you and everybody brought this up. You were the ones that started the ban, Mr. Emperor. You started the ban. Now you want to be the savior and have all of Gen Z and Gen Alpha love you. Oh, the people love me. That's all he wants, is people to love him. So this was done. And this is my opinion. And this is a lot of other people's opinions. Because I was like, why is that terminology, thanks to him, we're back? What? What? Okay, so now it's in the middle of this thing to where I think he signed a executive order that it has 75 days, 90 days to decide or something. He's also, as like I said, I don't pay attention to this man. He rambles at True Social somewhere. He wants it to be 50-50, America owned and something. I'm like, I
you can't do that.
I don't got the time. So let me give you a couple other stuff.
Hold on.
So,
does anybody remember Dudley Do Right?
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm in the App Store.
It's not there.
And TikTok and other ByteDance apps are not available in the country or the region you are in.
Right. That's exactly correct. Let me.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of pieces to this thing. So,
wow.
All right. So on Sunday, the emperor said he would issue an executive order following his inauguration on Monday to delay enforcement or of the divest or ban law. And it's not even a law because who's enforcing it? So then after he did that announcement, wherever it was, suddenly TikTok rose from the ashes and it was available. Now, here's the key, because Fran just brought it up. If you had it already, before it went dark, you still have it. If you want to get it now and you never had it before, you can't. That's a part of the ban.
So two things.
Mhm.
I experimentally, I still have it on my iPad, but I deleted it from my phone.
Right.
So if I wanted to, I cannot put it back on my
It's not in
phone.
the App Store.
It's
See,
not in the App Store.
It's in the
Right.
App Store. But if you kept it, it works.
It works, right? So I still have it on my iPad.
Right. So it works.
So it works, right? I went in there. So the other thing is this: there are now people that are selling their phones that have TikTok on it for thousands.
Wow. Because see, now people who didn't have it, now they want it, and it's not
Right.
available. Like, for instance,
So
it's not in
now
the
this
store.
is a commodity. People
Right.
selling their phones that
Yes.
have TikTok on it. And in fact, I have an old phone that still has TikTok
They
on
sell it. I would sell it. And I would ask premium
But
prices.
my
'cause
thing
guess what?
is, you have to wipe your phone to. No, I'm not going through all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So your personal stuff is not
Right.
on the phone.
If you wipe your phone so that
Right.
it's ready for sale, that TikTok is gone.
Right. So you would have
Exactly.
to basically wipe everything but TikTok. But again, if you do that and you do it right and sell it for triple what you paid, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just saying,
you're right.
there's a
You're right.
marketplace. I don't make the rules. It's not fair. But again, we've been talking about TikTok for years. You should have had it already or whatever. But now don't come into the boat because, well, is it banned? Is it not banned? So we're in this weird place of what's going to happen. It's still in the court. All right. So here's what's going on. So the emperor comes out and says, I did this for you people. I'm responsible for this. For TikTok to be back. Love me. And people are like, wait a minute. No. So then he says in his post, he would seek a 50-50 joint venture between TikTok existing parent company, which is ByteDance, and a new American owner. So this is a political football. And then another part of this, I didn't put it in here. I believe there was what is that guy's name from Shark Tank? He's been
Mark
all over the
Cuban?
news. Kevin something.
Okay, the Mr.
O'Leary. Mr. Wonderful. He's been all over the news talking about, oh yeah, I'm putting together a consortium to buy da 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 da. So remember, ByteDance says they're not selling. They still say they're not selling.
Mm-hmm.
They're not selling. And even if they sell, they're going to sell them the car without the engine. Without the Ferrari engine. You're going to get a what's the car? You're going to get a Civic. Without the engine, without the Ferrari engine that made it so great.
Not a Civic.
I was trying to think of a car. Like a regular car. You're not going to, and you've been bragging. Oh man, I got this Civic. This thing runs great with a Ferrari engine. Oh man, get in and take a ride. Oh yeah, I want it. All right, I'm gonna sell it to you, but it's gonna be without the engine, so you got to go to Honda and buy a Honda Civic engine, which defeats the purpose of you buying this special car. So I
just don't understand how you gonna buy my house if I'm not selling my house. I have a problem with that.
Well, remember,
is it eminent domain? Or are you just gonna take the house?
But remember, this culture operates under the modus operandi that everything is for sale and everything
exactly
has a price.
Under the assumption that everybody's got a price.
Well,
not so.
Now, if you leave the United States, you can get it.
Yes.
If you leave the United States, you cannot do that. And this article from Apple is talking about they are compliant with the government order for January 19th, regardless of whatever number he's on right now did.
Right. And see, that's really what it's about. The IPs were supposed to block access. And that's what they did. But TikTok got rid of it, like erased it. Like you couldn't even, with a VPN, you couldn't get it. And it was all designed to make this guy look like the hero. coming
well,
in and saving the day.
Well, I'm gonna
well,
tell you,
he-
I feel like the perils of Pauline and Dudley Do Right. You tied me to the tracks, Dudley, and now you come back, Dudley, and you want to untie me. I'm not sure I want
Thanks
you
to me, I
untie me.
saved your life. I'm
but
the one that tied you to the tracks.
But did he really? He did not, because you cannot do any in-app purchases. You can't do anything in the United States with this app. So technically,
Okay, so you untied my feet, but you did not tie my hands.
she can't do anything.
Oh
The
my
shop
God.
seller center.
And the train is still coming.
I put a link to the CNN article that has all
Oh
of
my
this
gosh.
mishmash of stuff
Mhm.
that
Oh my
happened.
goodness.
If
So
you want to track it.
So technically it is banned, because you cannot do anything with it in the United States. You can't go
Right.
get it.
Well, it has limited functionality.
Yeah.
So all you can see it do is see what's up there. And I'm assuming you can still post content. I'm not
I'm
interested in
assuming
doing
you can
that.
still buy
You can
stuff.
post. I posted, and like I said, I took advantage. I was like, hey, I'm gonna post something. And I did it on the web. I think I did it on the web. I did it, and it
What,
worked.
did the web come back up? Because I tried,
It
and
did. For
Oh.
me, it did.
Well,
And I'm not
okay.
using a VPN or anything.
Okay, well,
You're
the
right. It's
app-
back. The web is back.
It's back.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't during that 12-hour period on Sunday. It was not. It was not
Right.
available with. I tried it with a VPN. I tried everything. It was shut down. It was like they removed the house from the foundation. Like they completely blocked it, and then all of a sudden they came back and said, "Thanks to."
I know. I despise fraud, and that whole thing is fraudulent.
It is.
Nobody. Okay, let's look at how many times has ChatGPT gone down because there's some issues or whatever.
All the time. Yeah,
And
there's always
all the
because of
time.
usage or whatever. Yeah.
Right. There will be a message that indicates what the problem is, right? This is with any type of site. But I never, in all of my years, like I'm that old, but in all of my years,
All of us
I
being
have
on the
not
internet.
seen a platform give credit to a specific
That's what I'm
individual.
saying. That you've never seen that. And wait a minute. And they kept changing the message. So I think this was the last one. It said, in agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Dude for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. We will work with the emperor on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. And this is the TikTok CEO, Shu Chu. And he was at the inauguration front and center with all the other tech dudes.
Tech bros.
The tech bros.
This is
the
a
oligarchs.
This is a smoke screen at best.
Yes.
Nothing else is going on. And then, because I mean, if we think about it, and again, there's so many people that don't have good critical thinking skills, but is this really the most important, most pressing issue that we have to deal with? It is not. So the fact that it has been made such a big deal that people are now saying, oh, thanks to the Fuhrer for restoring this, that they're doing this, this is really an indication of something that this is a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I despise fraud.
This is an okie doke. I was like,
right.
wait.
The Mark's comment is very, very, thank you for bringing that up, Mark.
He says, I'm not generally prone to conspiracy theories, but the algorithm on TikTok has been noticeably different since it came back online. I'm very suspicious given what many are experiencing.
And that is the topic du jour. That is the topic that when it came back, this was immediately the comments from the most active users on TikTok. They said, wait a minute, something's different.
Something's off.
And because they took it offline completely, that means that they could have time to do whatever they needed to do. I don't know what was done.
Not like the other.
Something was done to it. Something was done. And
they could have put in some more spyware. They could have did some other stuff.
They gave us Hydrox instead of Oreos.
Hey!
That's what happened. And this is the thing that my mom tried to do. I was like, that's not an Oreo. I know an Oreo. I know what Oreo tastes like. That's not an Oreo. But it looks like an Oreo.
No, it ain't.
Hydrox.
Mm-mm.
Even the name Hydrox. They hydrox. So that's what this is.
It's
They
a Hydrox.
hydrox
Yes.
this situation.
Because it was
Oh my
taken.
gosh.
It was taken.
This is
completely
hilarious.
Down. Gives them
These analogies.
It gives them in a technology sense to clone whatever it was before, but to make the changes that they want and put it. I do this all the time. It's called staging. I make a copy of a website, I make changes, and then I put it in place of the one that's there. So this is what they did, because the people that use it the most immediately said, "This is Hydrox."
They hydrox. Yes.
Where's my Oreo? This ain't Oreo. And Mark is correct. So I'm glad. Thank you, Mark, for bringing that up. That was one of the things. And then, like I said, the discussion I listened to today, they were saying that legally there is no law that said that they had to take it offline completely. They didn't. All they had to do was block and I said this, block the access in the store so you don't download it. And that's what they've done now. But they went a whole country further and took it offline completely because they had a staging clone to put up that does whatever Mr. Emperor wants, or whatever China wants, whatever the power that, I don't know who they are. And I don't see this as a conspiracy theory, because I know how technology works, that they can put something back, and then to have people say, wait a minute, this is this Coke or Pepsi? This is what is the
New
fake
Coke?
What this, or what's the fake Coke? There's another one. There's Coke, Pepsi, and another cola, Shasta, or there's another one. One of those. This is not Coke. This is Shasta, or this is not. They could tell because they've been drinking it so long. They've been in the soup. They've been in the mix. I eat Oreos. I love them as a kid. You can't give me a Hydro. No, this is How do you? Could you think you're fooling the kid? You cannot fool the children. They have specific tastes. They've been using it. They know it. They don't want the fake one.
Clearly, CJ
This
is
is
so
decaf. This is not
traumatized.
regular cap. This is decaf. What I mean is the connoisseur of whatever it is, what plug in whatever. Thank you. Mark says it's RC Cola. Yes.
RC.
RC Cola. This is not Coke and it's not Pepsi.
There used to be
have
Tab
a different
too
taste.
back in the day.
They have a different taste. And even if you go to they say, and I've heard this, that if you get Coca-Cola in Mexico, it tastes different because they use sugar there. And over here they use high fructose corn syrup or something they use because it's cheaper. But when you go to Mexico and get a Coca-Cola, it's sugar. It tastes better. People have remarked on that. So what I'm saying is you can't fool me with the label or the bottle or put it in a container and say, here's some Oreos. And the kid tastes it and goes, this Hydrox. And I don't want it.
Wow.
So that's what's happening. What's going to happen? We're still in the boat of this, whatever the emperor wants to do for 90 days, and we're still in the boat. Just remember, ByteDance has not agreed. And when I say ByteDance, I mean China, because China owns it. They haven't agreed to sell it.
Okay.
So all of this dance, and I brought it back. The little dance. He likes to do the little dance. I'm your savior. I'm here to. No, it's all smoke and mirrors, people.
Looking like Elaine from Seinfeld.
His little dance that he likes to do. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's why I haven't paid attention to it. And I'm like, it's in the courts. It's legal now. And it's either divest or ban. So if you give us two options legally, those are the two options. Don't come in here with another, I'm saving the day with a...
Or we're going to play whack-a-mole and they just put a different name on it. Bring it back under different.
Right.
He is such a non-factor. Don't mind him.
So that's it. That's what's going on with TikTok. And I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't had it before the band, you can't get it now, and I don't know when it's going to be available. So you could do like Dr. Chachi said, find somebody that's selling their phone for $3,000 or whatever they're selling it for. I
Bless
would.
their hearts.
I want to get a new phone. I want the latest phone. How much does the latest phone cost? But I got to factor that into my sale price.
Mm.
And you'll find somebody who desperately wants TikTok and they have the money, they will pay it. So market.
Bless their hearts.
And that's it. That's all I have for you, the updates this week.
All righty then. Well, Dr. Tachi, it looks like you are up. Oh my goodness. Let me change this banner. Oh, Lord help us. TJ is just so much. Okay.
I just sit back and laugh because I'm like,
There's lots going on. So I guess I wanted to also piggyback off of, I don't know why I don't like that term, but in tandem with what Terry was saying. Segue, but also like in tandem. So together with what you were saying. In partnership with TJ. There are a couple of things that are going on media-wise. And I wanted to touch. There was something that I saw. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, 2 TikTok stories since we were talking about TikTok.
Yeah.
Is someone at the door? Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead, check. We got it.
We got it. Go ahead and check.
Go on. We got it.
There we go. It's our show now. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So there are 2 things I wanted to talk about with TikTok, and 2 things that I just found actually.
Okay.
So there, in Ad Week, they were talking about how much TikTok has dominated the short form video industry, right? So they gave some numbers, and I wanted to talk about
let's
that.
hear them.
So last year, they said in the US, TikTok users spent most of their time on the app. 55% of their time on the app watching content in quick attention grabbing format. And this is according to the market intelligence firm Sensor Tower's annual State of Mobile report for this year. The rest of the time was divided between TikTok's profile feed, chat function, live feature, search results, and other areas of the app. But most of the time, again, 55% was spent watching the short form video. So, Instagram came in at a distant second place.
And they know it.
Yeah, exactly. So users only spend 37% of their time watching video, meaning reels. Okay. So if we're looking at what's equivalent to TikTok on Instagram, that would be reels. So Instagram users only watch reels 37% of the time. YouTube Shorts captured 26% of people's time. Now, I'm also putting this.
Now, wait, I'm sorry. So Instagram, what was the number for Instagram?
37%.
37, and YouTube is 26.
26%.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So I think to me, there's more of an equivalence between Instagram and TikTok because of the amount of time. So YouTube Shorts is still relatively new. Has it been 3 years yet?
Maybe 3-4 years.
3
years, maybe 4 years.
So it's still, I want to say it can't be any more than 3 years old at the oldest. So we're now talking about well, although I don't know how long, Reels has been around for a little bit of time now, but it's been around longer than Shorts. So I'm putting that on that Shorts still is gaining wings, right?
Okay.
And I think that was the whole purpose behind them putting.
Okay, I got a date. So
go ahead.
YouTube Shorts is September 2020.
Okay. Oh, Shorts is September 2020. So it was it was during the pandemic that they were like, oh, okay, let's do this. Okay, so interesting. So this is what the report says. Quote, TikTok is the clear leader among short form video apps, and its success has prompted other social leaders to add their own short form video features. So the amount of time, let me go through everything.
Yeah.
So the share of the amount of time watching short form video on the apps, as I said, TikTok, 55%. Instagram, 37%. YouTube, 26%. Facebook, 22%,
Mm-hmm.
X 10%,
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat 10%,
Mm-hmm.
and Reddit 4%.
Yeah.
Although I don't necessarily consider Reddit a social app. To
It's
me,
not.
it's a forum, but
Yes.
they included it here.
Yeah.
So
It's a forum that acts in like the other social apps, like the other features are there, but it's really forum based.
exactly. Although, I mean, I guess they're not saying that these were social apps. They just said
Mhm.
on apps watching
Right.
short form video.
And the reason why, and I talk about this a lot, is because we're moving away from that social. Because, and I said this in the marketplace of attention, because this is just as where
Sorry,
everybody
do
is.
me a
So
favor. Keep talking. I have to plug
go
my
go
computer and
ahead.
it's about to die. Hold
All
on.
right, go ahead. Go ahead. I got it. So, because social media is a term that we're moving away from because of integration, because of we're not in the early adoption stage. We're kind of like in there's a name for it. It's not early adoption anymore. It's not mass. It's almost mass adoption. And we're moving away from the term social media because it's becoming a part of society to where we're not going to call it social media. Just like I said, AI, we're not going to call AI AI. So you can see with the open AI story that I talked about today, that they're moving towards tasks, AI agents, things that will perform tasks and make your life easier. We won't call it AI. It'll just be the thing. Like when you want tissue, you don't say you say Kleenex, or you say, the brand name of it. You just like, I don't really care what it is. It's just that we're using that term. So we're moving away from saying social, to it just being a part of society and part of life.
Right. It moves from concept to brand in a sense, because
Yes.
we start thinking about these things. Let's look at AI. When
Mhm.
people say AI, what do they think about? Chat GPT, right?
Right.
That's
But
the
it's
first thing.
everything. Right.
It's everything. But
Mhm.
because we need a neat package to
We
fit
need a
things in,
label.
and we need a label, we will say Chat GPT
Yes.
when we mean all AI.
We mean something else. And we say
Exactly.
social media, social, it means the integration of this thing in our lives. But we need
Exactly.
a label. Instead of saying a whole paragraph of what it is, we need one
We
word.
need one word, we need one label.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, so this is I found this very interesting indeed.
It is.
So
I love numbers.
I know, that's why I was like, who's going to dig this?
I love that.
TJ
Because
will
the
dig.
numbers show you the trends, the trajectory. Instead of me saying an opinion, there's a number. Take the number.
Exactly.
Oh, and Instagram Reels is November 2019.
Okay, so just the year before.
Mhm,
Interesting.
mhm.
Okay. Well,
Right, pre-pandemic.
I think during the pandemic, right. So I think the interesting thing is with YouTube that they were focused on long form video for the
Mhm,
longest time.
mhm.
So this is something new.
Right.
Whereas with Instagram, you always had the opportunity to upload short form video. In fact,
Yes.
that's what it was. It's just
Yeah.
that they dedicated reels to
Right. Because
this.
remember they had I don't remember what it was something video.
They had IGTV.
Yes, that was it. Right.
Right. And that was a little bit for they had that lasted not so
Yeah.
long. And
Mhm.
then, you had a time limit to what you could upload in the feed
Right.
anyway before Reels. So
Right.
they had always kind of been focused on short form video. Let's
Right.
be real.
Yes.
Shorts is different because YouTube was not always focused on short form video.
Right.
So
Right.
that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
You're right. You're right.
also, there's not enough. No, there are not enough numbers to look at this right now, but X and Blue Sky, I'm sure you know this, in recent days, they've introduced dedicated feeds for vertical video.
Yep. Mhm.
And Substack unveiled a live video option.
Yeah, Fran and I talked about that a couple months ago, because somebody that I follow that has a large following on Substack, I saw that they went live, and I was like, well, how are they going live? Because it was a test then. I think this was like
Right.
I think it
Yes.
was like September or something, and I knew it was coming. So
Yes.
there's the not social media, a Substack, but it's adding those features on to make it more of something useful.
Exactly. Especially some people
Substack
like
is not social media. It is you're
publishing.
putting out no newsletters, and journalists use it, but
Right.
now they're trying to be, we got live, we got notes, we got this, we got come on over.
Well, I'm interested in that because that reaches a whole completely different audience. And it's an audience that, this is interesting. This would be a competition between Substack and like a LinkedIn.
Right.
So I'm very interested to see all of this. Maybe nobody is, but
I am.
I know
I
you
pay
are.
attention to it all the time.
But we geek out over this stuff.
Because
So
it's attention. What it is, it's attention. You, and as business owners, you want to be where your customers.
exactly.
If they're on Substack, go over there. If they're on LinkedIn, go over there. Don't just go, well, I got to be on. And I had a couple of clients that they have to be on Instagram, but you're not growing. I'm like, let it go. Let it go and go to where your people are. Could be on Pinterest. Please go over there, but they're not.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
this was very interesting. If you're interested in the article, it's from Adweek. I'll send it to you.
yes.
Yeah.
I have like a newsletter. I was trying to see in my email, but I didn't see it. So send it to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Do you
do
subscribe
follow
to Adweek too?
Yes.
Okay.
Ad
So
week, and there's another ad something.
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Ad something. Ad age.
Ad age, yeah.
Yeah, it's just holdovers from being in advertising.
That's right, in the advertising.
Yeah,
but Adweek has they do a lot. Adweek does a lot of the ratings that come in for the news programs.
Yeah, so, they do a lot. Yeah.
So that's why I get subscribed to them.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, we were just talking about Substack. Let me continue. They have introduced a 20 million funding guarantee to entice creators to migrate to Substack. You have said nothing but a word, Substack. Here I come. So
no, go ahead. Because there's something about Substack. Go ahead. There's a post I saw. I'm trying to find it while you talk
okay,
about
so
Substack.
yeah, let me know once you find it. So on Thursday, just yesterday, they announced the launch of their Creator Accelerator Fund. It's 20 million aimed at helping creators grow their audience and move their paid subscribers from another subscription-based platform. So for example, Patreon, Supercast, and others. So you see what's happening here. That's like, okay, well, move over here. So they're but I can tell you now, if you have a strong Patreon, you're not moving folks to Substack. I'm just saying that. So they're saying, Substack is saying that it is created to ensure that the creators will keep all of their current revenue during the transition to Substack. Again, transition is a scary thing. And listen, if Patreon is treating you well, for example, if you have a Patreon and it's treating you well, what is my incentive as a content creator to migrate everybody over there, only for you all to decide down the road, well, road, we're taking a different direction. What? So I could see for new creators where this could be an opportunity, or if you see this as an opportunity where you can grow a second community, yes. But I don't know how likely it is that creators will migrate from something like a Patreon to Substack. How many creators know Substack exists? We know Substack, but I don't know.
I read so many things, and I didn't bookmark or save this, but it's mentioning Substack brought it up because I think the Isaac Haynes, the guy that the founder of
Isaac Hayes the third, yes,
the third. I think I ran across a rant of his because he was screaming about Substack getting money and how the whole diatribe about why isn't that money going, or why isn't there support for his Black-owned app? And because I cannot find it.
I don't mind you having, but it seems that every time you come on, you're coming on to
Rant.
complain
Mhm,
that
mhm.
as a Black-owned app, you are not getting the support. Or you're saying, well, let's put our support behind a Black-owned app. And at this point, all I've gotten from you is that you're Black-owned. What else? Because you can't just, being Black alone is not enough. Go ahead.
So I can't remember it, but I remember he had all these things about what would happen to social media if Black people left.
Oh,
Because
dry.
he had this whole stack of, because we create the trends, because we something, and he's saying it was basically like, what would be left if we all collectively left. I think it was on X. I'm gonna have to find it. Excuse me. He went through this whole diatribe, and it was like all these threads about, oh, if when we go, there's nothing left for them. And then at the end of that, somebody said, "I'm still not downloading your app, dude." I died. I gotta find it. I think it was on X. So he went through this whole diatribe of, if we left, Meta and this and that, but that's not going to happen.
So is he having a day of absence over there?
Why can't he just focus on making his app better? Make your party better, dude, so I can come to your house party. I want to come, but you got junk on the lawn, and we talked about this.
We did. I would love to come and hang out over there, particularly since I have money tied up in there. Invested on Start Engine because I wanted to see it thrive. But if every time I come there, and the technical glitches, as I said, are not even my big thing with fan base, because I get it. You're there. I believe they're a team of 20. It's a smaller team compared to some of these other apps. So again, you get grace there, but you keep asking for grace for things. And I'm not giving you grace on the fact that you haven't cultivated a community there that I want to be a part of. I am not, again, there's a lot of Midtown Atlanta Magic City stuff going on there, and that is not me. I don't want to be around.
That's not where I want to be.
That's not where I want to be. Cultivate places, spaces where people want to be, and they will come. Right now, you have the people that want to be there. If you want
I
a
just
different,
thought it was so funny.
it is.
He went through this whole posting. Oh, here it is. I found it. So if you go to his well, here, let me give you the link so you don't have to go. I'm going to put it in the chat. But he posted this January 22nd. I asked AI what would happen if the entire Black community left Instagram, TikTok, and X, just left the platform and never came back. What impact would that have on these platforms in a multitude of ways? So he had like 8, 12, 10 posts. And at the end, the person said, "I'm still not going to download your app, dude." And that laid me out, because that's true. Your diatribe, and I'm going to put it in there.
And where was the diatribe?
Let me bring it. I want to show you. Let me
on
get
X.
it on screen. Oh, it's on X. Let me.
So you're complaining on the very platforms that you, okay.
So make your donut. What does Fran say? Make your cookies better. She has a saying about make your stuff better.
The cookies need to taste good.
Okay, so
yes,
this is his. Let me see. There it is. So he goes in cultural impact, engagement, user activity, cultural innovation, reputation. He goes, and at the end, somebody said uproar, and then somebody said, "I'm still not."
Did he say reputation?
Oh, I don't. The person might have deleted. I can't. It's all these responses in here. So it's Oh, here somebody says this is nothing more than a bait tweet, hoping one day FBA Black Americans will all run over to your little app. It's nothing happening, bruh. We good on you. You got fully exposed during election season as a shrill for them folks. So that was kind of like some of the responses, but I can't find the one that I want where the person said, "I'm still not downloading your app," and that laid me out. That laid me out. I wasn't good for a couple hours just
So
thinking
we
about how
supposed to. So let's say this: we are making money on these other apps, but we're supposed to stop that, leave social media, shut down our business, and come over to his app.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
And that's the
fan
same
base.
thing with Substack is asking people
Right.
to do. Yeah.
But we talked about, because I remember Fran was like, well, how come you don't report on Facebook fan base? I was like, well, there's nothing to say. I mean, and I've been over there a couple times. We have been over there a couple times.
I've gone live on fan base.
Every
to
time
crickets.
I go there, I don't like what I see.
Don't like it.
Because those are not the things. I don't care about the Magic City, the distance. That's not stuff I follow, dude. But I had some things posted. But what I'm saying to him is, you cannot keep coming on these platforms berating us because we won't download your thing because we're all the same skin color, dude. No, I don't do that.
And it comes off as whiny. I
is.
hate to say it, but it
It is
comes
very
off as
whiny.
very whiny.
What else is there to call it?
But
I
see,
mean,
we're not the only ones calling it out. That's why I brought it up, because it's been on X. I've seen people on Threads. Somebody didn't name it said I've been on that app, and I knew exactly what she was talking about. She said, I went on that app, remember that I had downloaded it before, and immediately deleted it again because that's not where I want to be.
And instead of addressing folks and their concerns in terms of how do we make this a place that people want to be,
right,
you keep doubling down and hammering in, well, this is a Black-owned app, so we need to support. Listen.
Yeah. That's not a selling point for me.
It is not. There are plenty of melanated people who don't do things I don't like, and I'm not supporting them simply because they are melanated. For example, people who supported the Fuhrer. You may be melanated, but you're not my kind of melanated.
Yeah, you're gonna feel the wrath of whatever happened to Ice Cube the last time. So now you're in that boat.
Wreck yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, don't get mad because you say these things and do these things, and then you go, oh, I have a Vegas residency, come and buy tickets. We're not gonna do that.
Listen, that's
you immediately announce, oh, my Vegas residency is starting. Come and by see me. For what, dude?
So
what did he have? 2 songs in the 90s?
Yeah, hold that thought, because that is the conversation piece that I wanted to get into really quickly.
Let's get into that.
Okay, so that's what's happening with Substack. They have a creator fund.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether they are but we're wanting people to migrate their audiences over to Substack. We'll see. It will be interesting to see whether or not it works. Okay, so the final piece that I wanted to do is exactly what Terry was talking about. So there is a whole thing with Nelly. I don't remember the show he was on. Do you remember? I can't remember.
The show?
The podcast or whatever show.
Yes. He was on I think it's Willie D.
Yes, okay. I
don't follow him on YouTube, but I've seen some of his interviews. He did one with Cat Williams that was very interesting. I know of him, and I know he was one of the Ghetto Boys, or he's a rapper, I believe.
Yes, exactly. So, well, okay, sorry. Hold that thought.
Go ahead.
Before we talk about that, I do have to I preface this by saying, but I just want to mention this in terms of the inauguration, which many of us did not watch. There was an effect.
I watched some of it on silent because I like to see with my eyes in the moment, and I was waiting for something to happen. Like I thought something was going to happen live. So it's like watching Saturday Night Live. I want to watch it because I wanted to see if somebody jumps out and said, got you. That's just my fantasy. But when he started talking, and I wanted to see Biden's face, I wanted to see Kamala Harris's face. I wanted to see the faces. And then when he started talking, that's when I turned it off. Because like I don't need to hear him.
Yeah, I
wanted
mean,
to
I
see
get
it.
it, but and you know, believe me, I get that as a journalist as well. But I did not want my view to be counted in that number amongst that. So I did not want that. So
No, I
I
think
did
you
not
watched it
watch.
on X or somewhere. I mean, because I like to read after the fact, but I also wanted to be in the moment in case there was a gotcha. I was
Okay, no,
waiting.
I feel you. I feel
I
you.
wanted a gotcha, and I wanted to see it, and it didn't happen, so I turned it off. But for
I feel you.
historical purposes, otherwise, because I said I wasn't going to watch it, and then I was like, no, I want to see the SHIT show.
Well, for me, that gotcha moment was going to have to happen in clips on the replay because I was not going to give my
But when
time
he
in
started
real time.
talking, because he wasn't talking, like there was nothing from him. And I try not to look at him. I try to look at the other side. And then when they let him do his thing, that's when I was like, I'm out because I don't want to hear him.
No, I feel you. So the Nielsen, let me give you the Nielsen numbers. That's what I wanted to do. 24.589 million total viewers watched the inauguration on Monday, according to Nielsen Media Research.
Yeah.
And that viewership went across 15 networks. It peaked at 34.4 million during the 12:15 quarter hour when he took the oath of office.
Yeah.
So, of course, not surprisingly, Fox led the way in viewership. Fox News Channel saw 11.4 million total viewers and 2.4 million viewers in the adults 25 to 54 demo.
Okay.
That was between 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, this was the second biggest inauguration day performance for Fox.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this overall. 24.5, as I said, overall watched him. That is down from 2021 and 2017. Okay. So Biden's inauguration was watched by 33.76 million viewers, with CNN attracting the biggest viewership to the tune of 9.9 million total viewers.
Okay.
So viewership was down for this. And I think there's a number of things. This only happens every 4 years, so it's not like with award show fatigue where it's like, I don't feel like watching it. This is only once every 4 years, and this is something that everyone has a stake in. But my postulation is that he is so disliked that people, I mean, we actively heard people saying, I'm not going to watch. I said, I'm not going to watch this. So I think that who it is has a lot to do with what happens as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay.
And wasn't there, I don't have the numbers, but I saw on X, they said Beyonce's NFL halftime show had more viewers.
Yeah, from what I'm remembering, yes, it did. I don't have the exact numbers.
Yeah,
but
I don't
yes.
know. I didn't see the numbers. I just saw the tweet and I saved it and I was like, okay. But I thought that was interesting. I was like, I'm not shocked because nobody wanted to watch it.
No. I mean, can you blame people though? This is
no, I don't blame.
So,
I watched for historical and my purpose, and I wanted to see the gotcha moment, which didn't happen. Then I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yes.
And I was out.
Okay. So I said that to say that I forgot to give the numbers for the viewership for the inauguration.
Yes.
So in that, let's go now forward to Nelly. Now, apparently he performed, was it at a
I think it was him and Snoop and Rick Ross were pre-inaugural stuff. Again, I did not watch. I just read from the forums I hang out on. I read.
Exactly. So the three imbeciles all performed.
And then I saw the Nelly. There's a clip of Nelly on the Willie D podcast, which is probably on YouTube. I did not want to watch it all, but I saw the clip where he was
Yes.
trying to explain himself, and I was like, dude, no.
It is where he was trying to explain. And here's the thing: the fact that you have to explain away why you did that shows that something was not right with that. Okay, so what we have to remember, I always say this: all money is not good money. I don't know how hard up you are for money that this was the only thing to do.
Listen,
So
your hits are from the 90s. Where would he be getting money in 2024?
well, which is exactly why I'm like, well, why do you have a residency in Vegas? How many? You first of all, Celine
Okay, just
Dion.
real quick before that, I think I heard there's supposed to be some reality TV show with him and his wife Ashanti. I heard.
Are they married?
Yes, they're married. They got married secretly and didn't announce it.
Okay.
They're married. So now they taped some reality show that's supposed to come out. So I don't know, because I don't. This is just from me seeing the headlines on the forum I hang out.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, that's interesting, and I
Okay.
didn't investigate it. Then I heard about the residency again. I didn't investigate it because these conversations are happening on X and Threads, and I'm like, I really don't care. This is a man that had two songs in the 90s.
Exactly. And my thing is, you are not Usher. You don't have the catalog to be able to hold down a residency, in my humble opinion. I mean, I'm not going to see you. So I don't know how long that residency is going to be. I don't wish ill of it, but the whole thing is,
no, I don't either.
You have this resident, you went and you talked about this on this podcast or live show. And so his whole thing was explaining away why he did that. And the whole thing is like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you all rocked with me because of the turkeys I gave away, because of the blood mail transplant. So this is interesting because I was on Ron.
Did Gen even know it?
They don't. But here's the thing. He was trying to justify that move of doing something that was distasteful by saying, but look, I do all these other things.
Yeah. He had a lot of talk about show me the proof where he's a white supremacist and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, I don't have the time to go through this with you. That means you're out of touch. The evidence is there. Go look out for it. But honestly, I would appreciate it more if he had been honest instead of trying to explain it away.
Right, and making it our fault for not rocking with him because, I didn't realize you only rock with me because you thought I voted a certain way. I don't give a damn who you vote for. But when you vote a certain way, that tells me what you think of me and my community. Right. That's one thing. So the whole thing was that
the performers say they needed the money. One of them came out and said they wanted the money. I forgot who it was. One of the rappers. And I was like, thank you for telling me.
Okay, well, if Beelzebub offered you money, would you then also do that? So again, that's
a personal issue, but thank you for being honest.
Right. So here's the thing with this. I made the point on another show where we talked about this. I said, you guys remember New Jack City?
Yes.
And I said, you remember Nino Brown was was it a Thanksgiving, giving away turkeys and cornbread,
which is on 116th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue.
Exactly, right in Harlem. He was giving away stuff
building.
To the good people of Harlem. But Jen went home and started plotting on how they were going to increase their share of selling poison in that community. So you think because you gave me a raggedy, scrawny turkey that it makes up for the fact that you are selling poison to the community, the Black communities in Harlem? Exactly. You think that's right? So you think that now erases everything. So that comment that Nelly made was a Nino Brown comment. Exactly. You think because you have done all these things that you siding with the Beelzebub is now okay. But another thing is we also have to look at people and their history and what they do. And this is why I keep talking about like, okay, the whole thing with Walmart and the commercials. I'm like, but they have always done stuff like this. It's just that people don't pay attention. Nelly back in the early 2000s was, he's always done bone marrow research stuff.
Yeah, because I think he had a relative that needed
his sister, I
his
think.
sister. Yes.
That needed a bone marrow transplant. So as what usually happens is you're like, okay, well, there are others. How can I raise money for this? So that's what he's chosen to do with part of his platform. But he also had a very deplorable, distasteful music video in the early 2000s called Tip Drill, which was awful.
Ah, yes.
So what happened is he wanted to do a bone marrow drive at Spelman College. The ladies of Spelman were like, after Tip Drill came out, no. But this is what they said. They said, okay, well, we got together and said, well, you could do the bone marrow drive, but we have to have a forum about misogyny and hip hop right after. He canceled it because he did not want to be held accountable. So all of this, him talking on this and being defensive, he doesn't want to be held accountable for his decisions. So we have to be very careful of who we revere, not only in our community, but who all of us revere as examples of goodness, of examples of success. Just because you can sing or rap or dance or does not make you a good person. And no, you cannot separate the art from the person, because the person informs their art. And when you patronize that art, you are paying for the person's debauchery.
Exactly.
You paid for his gas to get to the inauguration.
And we have a saying, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
That as well.
That's it. But I didn't like his explanations of, and I wasn't looking at him as a Rhodes Scholar anyway, but I did not like the fact that you put your ignorance on display and you're angry because we called you out. We have a right to call you out.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you voted for, but don't come on here being ignorant of the fact of why we're angry. You took the money, take the money and say, I took the money, and go and do your thing. But get ready for the Ice Cube treatment.
They just don't want to be, I don't even call, how they say cancel culture. It's accountability culture. You just don't want to be held accountable. That's why you're getting all upset and so that oh, no, you're right. No, you are not right.
You can't use the community, do things and say, hey, I got a Vegas residency. I got a reality show with my wife and kid. I want you guys to watch. I'll be minding my business. Because I wasn't going to watch anyway.
First of all, I'm still puzzled as to how he got a Vegas residency at Resorts World.
Stick to your little 90s review tours that you and your wife was on. Sorry.
Exactly. This is not to denigrate you, but you know what? It's personal now. You have chosen your side. You have chosen to be against the side of right, and especially against the community that supported you. So this is what people don't realize. Yes, you are allowed to vote, however, but then realize that you're biting the hands that feed you, because who was it that came and bought tickets and sat all up? It was us, not me.
But who are your fans? Who are your fans?
Exactly.
Who are your fans? Don't get mad
when
some of your fans. We make it our business to pay attention to society and what's going on, and for the betterment of our community and the world. We pay attention to that. We vote accordingly with our money. Don't get mad. It's the same thing with Isaac. Don't get mad because I won't follow you because we're all same. We're all in the same community. No. Do better. Give me a better product. Give me a better product and I'll shop with you. I'll do business with you. Give me a better product. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to stand with you or a reason to say no.
They're all in the find out phase now.
Don't get online on social media and berate me and tell me that I'm wrong because I won't download your app. No.
Well, he's about to see. We are in the find out phase of the FAFO thing.
I hang out where I hang out because I like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be there. And there's not anything better. When something better comes along, I will go to it. If it meets my needs, I will go to it. Okay.
And let's just say this. We hope for better for you. We hope that it becomes better. We hope that you see that any app is only as strong as its
I could leave them all today.
Say
I
again?
don't live and die by TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
No,
We've
no.
talked about that. I don't even hang out on Facebook. I'm just there because of the business side of it.
Exactly. But I could take it or leave it. But all of these apps, you are here yes, we're using you, but we don't have to. So you only
Yeah.
exist because we're there. Why else do you think they'd be like, oh, let's entice more users? Because you care about people using. That's what advertisers want to see. They want to see users. So
Yeah.
I
I
wish
want to
the
use it for my
best.
benefit. I don't want them to use me. I want to use them. And that's what I'm going to do. Use them. They're not going to
Exactly.
use me.
Use and abuse them. Anyway,
I can take you or leave you. Nelly,
exactly.
I'm sorry. Hey, I love your little song in the 90s, but I really don't want do you have a 2024 hit? Do you have a hit? And a lot of people
Does he
will
have a
talk about artists.
2023 hit or 2 or
A lot
1?
of people will talk about artists that change up their style and they give you something fresh and new. It may not be your cup of tea, but at least they're trying to be creatively different. And they're
Yeah.
not going on an old style hip hop tour from the 90s. Remember this hit? Well, I don't need to pay to hear that because I have it. If I want to take a trip back to memory lane, I listen to it. I'm not going to.
But that works. But that works. People do like those old school tours because this is why a lot of these people, they don't have to make new music.
Right.
Because they have a fan base that likes the old stuff. And many times you make something new, they're like, what is this? We don't want that. We want
Exactly.
XYZ.
Exactly.
So that works for them. They can do that. But I'm sorry, you have to have a catalog. You're doing a Vegas residency like you're Frankie Beverly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's not Usher. Usher has old hits and new hits. He's fresh and new. Madonna was one that did new stuff. You didn't have to like everything that she did.
And here's the thing,
a-
they're also entertainers.
Yes.
So like Usher, he's got songs, but there's a whole roller skating show. There's
He
a
does
whole
fresh and new. How can I
Yeah.
take a song from 2000 and make it to I know people like the song, but it's 2025. I'm going on tour. Come over. We have ideas to make it fresh and new, to present it in a new way, a new outfit. The people that love it from 2000 love it, but the people that are coming today will love it because it's fresh and new. It's entertainment. That shows
Exactly.
not Nelly coming out with his, I'm gonna bring my apple bottom jeans back. Who wanted them the first time? They didn't sell. Why are you bringing them back?
Is he bringing them back?
He said he was.
Oh, Nelly, I pray for the best for you. That's all we could do.
I don't want to put this man down. I'm just saying, be creative. You were creative in the 90s. What happened?
No, but there's also a thing of maybe it's time to transition to something else.
That too.
Where there's a time and a place for certain things, tastes change. You've been out of the game, especially fashion. You've been out of the game for a while. These are not things that are resonating with younger. And it's not just him. If Beyonce brought back like the Darion jeans, if
nobody's buying that.
If Kimora Lee Simmons brought back the baby fat,
nobody's buying that.
That was an early 2000s phenomenon thing. They were all the skinny jeans, all the. It's not now. Not that fashion cycles, but that's not where we are now. So
what Nelly should have done, if he's a creative person, you have creative outlets. Nelly the artist, maybe he likes art. Show me your art, or show me your this, or show me your that. Evolve and change. That was one of the things that made Madonna great as an artist. She changed and evolved with the times. She made different stuff. She tried new things and came out and said, here, I creatively thought of this here. Or she had help or whatever, but it wasn't, I'm a stay stuck in the 90s. And
but you have to, those types of things only work if you have other talents to push forward. So if we look at hip hop, okay, two perfect examples: Busta Rhymes, who has managed to really do a lot of. He's a creative person, right? Yeah. So he's really managed to do a lot with his creativity. And then Andre 3000.
Yes.
So
I love Andre 3000. I hope
he's my favorite. I love. First of all, I love Outkast.
Yes. But
so
the thing I heard about his new album when it came out, it didn't shock me, but it made me sad because I'm like, you gotta expand your mind, people. Expecting the outcast.
He has always been otherworldly to begin with anyway. He's always
Yes.
been on his own thing, and he does what he wants creatively. And I think that's where maybe that's not what is meant for Nelly, but there are certain types of artists that they can transcend only rapping because they have all these other they
Yeah.
even what's his name? Is he a Lil, one of these Lils? You know who I'm talking about. He was on The Masked Singer. He has an amazing singing voice. You know what I'm talking
yes,
about.
yes, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
T-Pain? Is it T-Pain? I think it's T-Pain.
It might have been T-Pain because he sang. He wasn't a sing. He was always a singer, but he found he exploded out with the auto-tune and stuff, but he was always a singer.
Right.
He just never showed that side. He came out with this and went in that lane, and then he did the Masked Singer and came out and blew everybody away because we were like, "Who's that singing? T-Pain can sing?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's been singing ever since he was a kid." Like he talked about his grandmother and stuff like that. So, but those are talent. What I mean is talent. You have the talent. Let it shine in different ways.
Again, maybe he doesn't know what that talent is, or he doesn't have it.
I don't think he does. And honestly,
and it's okay. It's not meant for you.
You can stay in a little bubble in your little safe world of I'm gonna continue to sing. It's getting hot in here, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't pay for that kind of stuff because I'm like, I don't want to relive that.
I was never not to be. That was never my. Ooh, I'm going to a Nelly concert. That was not me.
Me either.
It is what it is. That's what I have today.
It's a beat. It's a vibe, but I don't want it. I don't want
it. All right. It was never really me, but that's what I have today. Those are my stories. I just wanted to have that last piece in there.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree with you. That was
wonderful.
But it is what it is, and these criticisms are said for you to evolve, for him to evolve, to whoever we're talking about. Please evolve. Isaac Haynes III, please evolve. Please don't berate me because I won't come over to your party. I don't like it. So improve it. Nelly, improve it. If you're not sure of politics, stay out of it. Say, I don't really know about a lot about politics. I just wanted to do this, blah, 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 blah. Do that. Okay? Don't say one thing and then I clearly can see that you don't understand politics. You don't. And that's okay. You're an entertainer. Stay in the entertainer lane.
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess we are the ones that are going to wind it down today. Terry, TJ, where can people find you?
Oh, Terry Johnson online everywhere, and I believe there's a banner. Let me see if I can find it. I just get so enamored of that because it's, to me, it's funny. I know a lot of people
try hard not to dance well.
Excuse me. Terry Johnson online /info or Terry Johnson online on all your favorite platforms. And let's see, the BizChicks. You can join BizChicks. Text biz to 33777 and the website bizchicks.net.
And they can teach you how to do a profitable business that's fun to run, right?
Yes, that's exactly. I never remember, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
so I am everywhere, definitely Mediascope on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. But we don't come back until February, so we have a little bit of time. And if you are so inclined, check out my platform, Indie Soup Media. TJ has a show there. Also, the BizChicks have a show there. There are lots of great creators, and there's very good content.
IndieSoupMedia.tv.
Yes, IndieSoupMedia.tv, but the big way you can watch is on YouTube, and we are at Indie Soup Media everywhere. And that about wraps it up. Thank you, IndieSoupMedia.tv.
I know we had a banner.
Yeah, we have a banner for everything.
We got everything is in here. So
So that
So-
wraps it up for us today. We hope that you have an amazing, outstanding weekend, that you are bundled up. Even the people in North Florida got some snow. So
Really?
it snowed in
Wow.
Pensacola. And so that I just call it East Alabama. And I think Tallahassee got some snow as well. So we don't have snow down here. We are basically Cuba. So
I thought I had fun watching all the videos of everybody playing in the snow and doing different things. And
yeah,
was
exactly.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you can't really go anywhere for
Exactly.
days. So
And
I'm just looking at them like, you all just don't know. Snow is
and I
not.
go, I ain't doing all that. When we
Yeah,
have snow,
exactly.
I'm like, "Ugh, snowing. Ugh."
Yeah,
But they,
exactly.
I let them enjoy it, have fun.
Have fun. It was interesting to see the the Gulf side. They have that really pretty aquamarine water, and
Yes.
you had the beach, the sand, but then you had the snow on top
So
of the
that's
sand. So
in-
that's the kind of thing you see in Long Beach, New York, right?
yes,
But
yes, yes.
or places on the northeast coast, but you don't see that generally in Florida. Apparently, it had not snowed since 1980, and it wasn't even significant. This gathered. So I'm sorry for them. Today I'm sure like, okay, they're like, okay, now it's time for you to go.
Old.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
old people.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, no snow down here, and it's actually a little bit sunny right now. So
Cool.
yeah. All right. Also, we will see you next week here. Same bad time, same bad channel. And don't forget to go to the front of your own line.
Exactly. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. And I hope you enjoyed another week in tech.
Yes. Bye.
Oh, me.
You.
I'm like, okay.
You have to end.
Let me.